Hi and welcome to Priori Digital Studio tutorial. In this video, I will show you how to set up and use your family couple budget spreadsheet in the most efficient way. In this video, I'm using Google Sheets, but the Excel version is exactly the same. First thing, we protect most of the cells where there are formulas to make sure that you don't erase any important formulas that could impact the spreadsheet. So if you see this message, it means you are not supposed to touch it. But don't worry, I'll show you step by step how to prepare your spreadsheet. So if you see this message, you can just click on cancel. The first tab is the annual dashboard. For now, everything is empty since the template is blank. We will come back to this tab later. Same thing for the annual totals. You have 12 monthly tabs from January to December. You can start your budget on any month, not necessarily in January. We'll take the month of January as an example, but the way you fill in the information and your data is the same for every month. As you can see on the left-hand side of the top of the page, you have the summary data for the month. You can easily see your total income, total expense, left to spend, and left to budget. You do not have to enter any information in those cells. Same thing for the budget summary in blue. Everything is auto-populated, and the only purpose is to help you understand your financial performance. The first thing you want to fill in to prepare your budget is the income table right here. The first thing you want to fill in to prepare your budget is the income table. You can enter the source of your income, let's say paycheck. You double click to see the calendar for your payday. Let's go back to January, let's say 9th. And then your expected salary, let's say $1,500. Later on, you'll be able to enter the actual amount you received. Then you want to budget your expenses in categories. You can enter your bills, expense, savings, subscriptions, and debts. So let's start with an example. For bills, I have electricity. I have $100. It's due on January 10. For expense, I have clothes. Let's say $50. Savings, I have the 401k. My budget is $200. Subscription, I have Netflix. Let's say $20. And then debts, I have a car. And then I have a monthly payment of $300. You do not need to enter your actual expense since you will be able to see it later. It's auto-populated. Oh, I see. I forgot to enter the due date here. Let's do it. All right. To track your real expense, you have to scroll down to the transaction tracker. So let's take an example. Let's say I spent $50 on clothes. So to select your categories, you need to click on the drop-down menu right here and categorize your spending in the categories you just created. So let's say I spent $50 on clothes. Then I spent $100 on electricity. I spent $30 on Netflix. And then $250 I was able to put in my 401k. And then last one is, yeah, right, my car, and I was able to put $50. So as you can see, the categories are automatically populated and the graphs are also updated. Don't forget to enter your income once you receive it. So here, let's say I received $2,000. So once you've done this for the whole month, you will see on the green table on the left-hand side at the bottom all the categories in order from the highest to the smallest. You can also use the graphs to help you understand your monthly financial performance. So next is the Improve My Budget tab. So let's click on this. This tab helps you implement the 50-30-20 rule. The 50-30-20 rule is a budget technique that involves dividing your money into three primary categories. 50% goes to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayments. As you can see in the yellow table on the left-hand side, you have a short definition of the three categories. The first thing you will have to choose in this tab is the month you want to visualize. So here I'm already on January, but basically you just click on the drop-down menu and choose your month. Then the data from the monthly tab will automatically auto-populated. As you can see here, we entered electricity, clothes, 401k, Netflix, and car. The only thing you have to do is categorize the expense in either needs, wants, and saving. So let's do that right now. The electricity is definitely a need. Then clothes, wants. 401k is savings or paying off debts. Netflix is a wants, and the car is a debt. So once this step is done, you will see your percentage in the gray table. The table will show you a percentage for each category, and you will be able to see if you are close to the 50-30-20 ratio. As you can see, I'm not very close. However, I have 62% of my income that goes toward savings and paying off debts. You will also be able to visualize your data in the graphs above to help you understand your financial performance. Then let's go to the distribution tab. This tab will help you understand who earns the most money and who spends the most and on what. In this tab, the first thing you want to do is to choose the month you want to visualize. Then again, use the drop-down menu and click on the month you want to see. So let's say January. Then enter the name of the people who earns and spend money in your family. So let's see Anne and John. Most of the data are auto-populated in this tab, so the only thing you have to do is to associate the income in the income distribution right here. So let's do that right now. So I only entered one paycheck or one income source in the January monthly table. So let's say Anne was the earner. You will have to do the same thing in the transaction tracker. All the transactions will appear and you have to associate them with the right person. So as you can see, all those transactions were the one that I wrote in the January month. So let's say Anne spent clothes, the electricity was paid by John, Netflix was paid by John, Anne put money in her 401k, and the car was paid by John. In the global distribution table, you will see how much each family member spent in each category. You will see similar information in the expense overview graph. And finally, you will also have the income versus stable expense graphs to see the ratio between the family members. So now let's have a look at the bill calendar. In this tab, you will be able to see all your monthly bills. In this tab, you only have to choose the year and the month, and you will see all the bills, subscriptions, and the income entered in the monthly tab automatically appear based on their due date. So we entered data for January, so I just entered the year, and then with the drop-down menu, you could choose another month, but I'll keep January. So we can see that I have the paycheck here, the electricity, Netflix, all the bills that I entered in the January tab. Once you've paid a bill, you just have to tick the checkbox and the word is going to be strike through. So let's say I paid my electricity and Netflix. As you can see, it's strike through. This way, you will never forget to pay a bill again. So now let's have a look at the sinking funds tab. This tab will help you set money aside to reach your goals. All the left-hand side table are auto-populated and will change with the data you insert in the table below, right here. To set up your sinking funds, you just have to list your goals, the amount of money needed to reach the goal, the amount you want to put aside each month toward that goal, and the amount of money you already have aside for that specific goal. It could be zero. So let's take an example. Let's say I want to put money aside for Christmas gifts and for a car. Let's say new car. New car. My goal for a Christmas gift is to have $1,000, and for a new car, $20,000. My monthly goal for my Christmas gifts is $100, and for my new car, let's say 500. Oops, 500. Hey, 500. So I have zero money aside for my Christmas gifts, but I have about $5,000 aside for a new car. So in the contribution tracker on the left-hand side, you have to track the amount you put aside for your goals and assign it to specific goals. So let's take a few examples. Let's just drag this down to have more dates. So I put money aside for Christmas gifts, let's say $50. I put extra money for a new car, let's say $300. Then Christmas gift, another $100. More Christmas gift, $40. And then for my new car, $200. So as you can see, as time goes by, you will see the progress increase. You can easily see how many months left until you reach your goal and the date your goal should be achieved. Now let's have a look at the debt calculator tab. In this tab, you will be able to see your debt payments, and the debt-free date. The first thing you want to do is to enter the date you started paying off your first debt. So I started paying off debts in 2021, let's say. Then you can use the drop-down menu to choose a month. So let's put January. Then list your debt in the yellow table on the left-hand side. It is very important to order your debts from the one with the lowest initial balance to the highest. Then enter the interest rate and the minimum payment. The rest will be automatically calculated. So let's take an example. I have a credit card, a car, and a house. My initial balance for my credit card is $7,000. The car is $15,000. It's a cheap car, and then the house $250,000. I have a big interest rate of 10% of the credit card. I have 5% on the car and another 5% on the house. The minimum payment for the credit card is $100. For the car is $400. And then for the house, I have a minimum payment of $1,000. Perfect. So here in the overview column, you can also add a monthly extra payment. So let's say I have a freed up $50 to put toward my debts. I can put it here. Moreover, if you have spontaneous money that you want to put toward your debt, you can write it in the overview column in here in the plus or minus cells, or you could decrease your monthly payment if needed. So let's say I have a $500 more to put toward my debt, and I plan that in June I will be short of $100. So this will impact the rest of your payment. Finally, you will see your debt-free date for each debt, as well as the payment for each of them over time. So as you can see here, I know when I will be finished to pay my credit card, car, and house, and I have all the monthly payments and interest owed for every month. So now let's have a look at the net worth tab. This tab will help you visualize your financial worth over time. The first thing you want to do in this tab is to list your assets and liabilities. So in cash and bank account, I have my bank account. In investment, I have the 401k. In property, I have the house. Short-term debt, I have a car loan. And then I have house mortgage. Here you go. So in the bank account, you basically write your bottom line. So how much money you have in your bank account. So let's say I have $20,000. For the 401k, same thing. You write the amount of money you have in this account. Let's say I have $8,000. For your house, you basically need to write the value of your house. Its value is $250K. So in the liabilities, basically you need to write all the amount you owe the bank. So let's say my car is worth $30,000, but I still have $15,000 to pay for it. I need to write $15,000. Same thing for my house mortgage. My house value is $250K, but I still owe the bank $200K. So you need to do that with all your assets and liabilities. Every month, you will add your assets and liabilities total. So don't forget to enter it every month. So let's say my bank account grew in January. Same thing for my 401k. So my house increased a little bit in value, let's say, and my car is the same. Let's do the same thing for the liabilities. So I paid my car loan, a little bit, so it decreased. Same thing for my house. So let's say now I'm 195K. So let's scroll up. So as you can see on the right hand side, you have the growth percentage. At the top, you will also be able to see your overall net worth, your annual growth in dollar and in percentage. In the graph, you will be able to see your net worth over the months, the difference in between your assets and liabilities, as well as the asset distribution. So now let's come back to the two first tabs. So the annual dashboard. You do not need to enter any information in this tab. Everything is auto-populated. This tab is basically just a summary of your yearly information. Same thing for the annual total. You do not need to enter any information in this tab. This is only a monthly summary of all your income and expense, and the purpose is only to help you see your overall yearly spendings in all categories. The purpose is only to help you see your overall yearly spendings in all the categories. As you can see, everything I entered in January is reflected right here. So I hope this tutorial helped you easily set up your spreadsheet. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or concerns. Follow Priori Digital Studio on Etsy and YouTube for sneak peeks on new templates.